All right, welcome to Module 3. This is our pre-module review. Our objective for this is I can use operations to solve problems with fractions. And this is part 1. We're also going to look at part 2. So let's start by talking about adding and subtracting. To add and subtract fractions, we first have to find the common denominator. And there's two ways we can do that. Once my camera focuses here. There we go. The first way is we can find the least common multiple, or LCM is one way we can do that. So if we look here, we have 4 and 3. I need to get the same number on the bottom. So we're going to end up with something plus something else. If I count by 4s, so to find the least common multiple, I can count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16. I'm also going to count by 3s because that's my other denominator. 3, 6, 9, 12, and look. There's a common multiple. So to turn 4 into 12, I have to do 1, 2, 3. I have to multiply by 3. If I multiply the bottom by 3, I'm also going to multiply the top by 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3/4 is the same as 9/12. To turn 3 into 12, I have to multiply 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 4 and 1 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, when I'm adding, now that I have the same denominator, when I'm adding, I'm going to keep it. We don't add our denominators. I'm only going to add my numerators. So 9 plus 4 is going to give me 13/12. Here's the other way we can do it. If you don't want to have to figure out the multiple situation, you can just multiply your two denominators. If I want to get a common denominator, I can just multiply 8 times 5. And I'm going to get 40. Now, it's a pretty big number, and that's okay. So my goal is to turn both of these into 40. To do that, I'm going to multiply 8 times 5, which means I need to multiply 6 times 5. We already got our 40. 6 times 5 is 30. And then we have to multiply 5 times 8 to get 40. So I have to multiply 2 times 8, which is 16. Now I have 30/40 minus 16/40. Remember, adding and subtracting, we keep the same denominator. And then I just have to do 30 minus 16. And remember, you can use a calculator for that. And you are going to end up with 14/40. We could simplify that, but we're going to leave it for now. Adding and subtracting fractions is probably the hardest two operations within the system when working with fractions. Multiplying is pretty straightforward. When we multiply, we just go straight across. So here I have 3/4 times 1/3. I'm just going to multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to multiply my denominators. 4 times 3 is 12. Done. Here we have 6/8 times 2/5. 6 times 2 is 12. 8 times 5 is 40. We have 12/40. Boom. Done. Lastly, we have dividing. The rules for dividing are that we keep the first number the same. We change the operation to multiplication. And to do that, we have to flip the last fraction. Keep, change, flip, or KCF. So let's do it. We have 3/4 divided by 1/3. We are going to keep 3/4 the same. We're going to change division to multiplication. And then we are going to flip. Oh, my camera's having some issues staying focused today. We are going to flip our last fraction. Instead of 1/3, we're going to put the 3 on top and the 1 on bottom. Now we have a multiplication problem, so we can just go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 1 is 4, so we have 9/4. Here we have 6/8 divided by 2/5. We're going to keep 6/8. We're going to change division to multiplication. And we are going to flip 2/5 so that the 5 is on top and the 2 is on bottom. And now we can multiply straight across. 6 times 5 is, what is 6 times 5? 30. 8 times 2 is 16. So we have 30/16. If you need more practice with operations with fractions, you can look at G1, G9, and G12 in IXL, and that should be under the 7th grade section.